Thank you for joining me during this breaking news report. We have Hurricane Alana hitting Humboldt, Texas very hard right now, and we have our correspondent Liliana Carrada there live reporting. So we're going to go ahead and give it to Liliana.
At Humboldt, Texas, inside of Hurricane Alana. As you can see behind me, it is starting to flood. If it doesn't stop raining soon, eventually the water will get higher and possibly get into the local neighborhood's home. Earlier, the wind gusted at such a high rate that it knocked down a tree, which hit a power line and left local residents without power. Here, at one of the local lakes, it is starting to overflow and will most likely cause flooding on the nearby streets. All of this floodwater can eventually even wash away habitats for animals and insects that live here. Some examples are frogs, geckos.
Wow, that was some scary events that transpired, so thank you, Liliana, for that. So now we're going to move on to, we actually asked our Twitter viewers to send in some questions and or concerns for us to answer for them. And we have our correspondent Yvonne Heron in the field live to go ahead and...
Thank you, Teresa. Question 1, user Why Don't We sent, do you think floods affect humans or wildlife more? Personally, I believe floods affect humans more because wildlife can go to different habitats and adapt very easily. They can go to their original habitat once all the water has receded. For humans, if waters reach the interior of their house, they could possibly lose their entire house and be homeless. Question 2, user Shaniqua Aaron. Do any organisms benefit from floods? The answer might surprise you. The flood offers groundwater recharge. It provides the habitat with a variety of fish. It offers biological productivity. They provide fertile soils and high rate of plant growth and diversity. Richer articular harvest and healthier forests. Short answer is yes. The third question is from user Lavender Avery. Avery says, do floods pose a threat to human population? Sadly, yes. In past incidents, some people have died because they didn't know how to swim and have drowned. Some people tried to walk across fast-moving waters and got swept away from the fast waves and currents. Our final question comes from user Zach Besson. He says, do floods damage property? Yes. Flood water can damage building foundations, cause mudslides and potholes. Some instance, flood water can get into residential communities and flood houses, which can cause mold to form. Now we go to Liliana Carrada, who is talking to nearby residents who lost everything.
Thank you, Yvonne Heron. Yes, we are here with Linda Machado, who is living in a hotel room with her husband because they lost their house in the flood. Ma'am, may I ask you, when you found out about Hurricane Alana, what kind of precautions did you take?
Of course, we tried everything in our powers to prevent any of this from happening. We went to get big bags of sand and big rocks to stack around the house, but it just wasn't enough.
I am so sorry for your loss, ma'am, and I pray your situation gets better.
Thank you.
Back to you, Yvonne Heron.
Thank you, Liliana Carrada. We are actually here with Coach Michael at his soccer field, which 3 days ago looked like a city pool. The reason we are here is because you have questions for me, right?
That is correct. My first question is, do floods in any way change the landscape?
Yes. The floodwater could wash away land, which sometimes refer to mudslides or land.
My second question is, define weathering, erosion, and deposition.
Weathering is a process of something wearing away from a long period of exposure to air. Erosion is a process by which the surface of the earth has been worn out. And deposition is a geological process in which sediments, soil, and rocks are added to a landform or landmass.
Then my final question is, do floods cause or promote weathering, erosion, and deposition?
Yes, floodwater weathers and erodes rocks as water rushes across the land. The dirt eroded away in a flood is deposited to a new place. These forces cause rocks and other landforms to break down in a process of what we call weathering. Back to you, Tris Karada.
Thank you, Liliana Karada. We will see you back after the
Cold, laying on the floor. Long December nights are what I've been waiting for. Pull my hand close to the fire. Shivering, I can't stop. Give me the look, you know the one I want. I've been waiting for. It's so cold, yeah. I got chills when you walk, chills when you talk, chills every time you say my name. It's the way that it feels when we touch. I can't get enough. Love got me frozen in place, baby. I got chills. Oh, baby, I got chills. Oh, baby, I got chills. Arms wrapped around my neck. You keep